All right, it's a brand new day, Nigeria, and we're glad to be sharing it with you.
All right, glad to have you join us this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Yomi Owokwe. We are live right now at TVC Continental Studios right here in Lagos.
It's time for you to, well, wake up, smell the coffee, and of course be part of what we have for you today.
All right, it's Tuesday morning, and you know how we do it. It's like the busiest day of the week. People say that. And there's going to be a lot on the show today. First, of course, we're going to be introducing our new chef that's going to be joining us this morning later on.
Yeah, but not after you introduce me. Well,
yeah,
not until you
okay, so she's
introduce me.
Titi Oyinson. Just
my name
case.
is Titi Oyinson.
And I'm Yomi Owokwe.
And of course, we're streaming live on tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook. You can look us up on TVC Connect with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. And at this point, let's get to the chef that Yomi was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Mary.
Hey, Mary.
How you doing?
Good morning. There's something about the guys around here today and this chef.
I
That's why I
understand what
decided
you're
that
talking
you would
about.
not start with the introductions here. So let's just move on. Are you still waiting?
So
to
you're
meet
not
her?
going to introduce the
Please,
chef?
Oh, well.
can we know who the chef is?
Well,
Unless
Chef
you want us
Winifred,
to scream Chef Mary.
Please come in. So many guys just going, hey! I had to hide you, keep you for the last. So Yomi, Titi, here's Chef Winifred.
Hi, Chef Winnie. How's it going?
Hi, Titi.
Hi, Winifred.
Really good.
Can't
Nice
wait
to
to
be
see
here.
Nice
what
to
you're
have
putting
you here.
together
Thank
today.
you. Thank you.
All right, so straight to this morning's highlights. Now, parents with more than one child will be glad for this, but we are having Ezefua joining us to talk about how best they can deal with sibling rivalry.
It's a very deep topic. Need to know how to handle that. And of course, we'll be bringing you up to speed with what's happening in the glamorous world of our celebrities in entertainment news.
And then it's Tech Tuesday. And of course, Bella Rose will be with Mike to talk about women in technology and their past achievements as well.
And recently, of course, we celebrated women all over the world. You know, International Women's Day, Mother's Day. And Olaronke Alo has a report put together on gender equality in Nigeria and the rest of the world.
And then after that, we have Nollywood's actress Ayola Ayolola joining us later on for a chat.
I can explain. This guy has no chill. I can't believe him. He's calling me for Candace drinks. Can you imagine? Fabrice must have offered them something that they're actually thinking of sponsoring. And I know these people, they will never do 2 radio stations. They're thrifty. What does this guy want now? What does he want? I wonder. Why is he coming after me so hard? Why? First he poached my OAPs and now my sponsors? Why?
All right, people. So it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Some birthdays today.
Quite a number of birthdays,
Yeah.
celebrity birthdays, in fact.
Oh, yeah.
Today, our very own news anchor is celebrating today.
Yeah.
And don't worry, you see her in her pretty outfit today. And you see a big smile on her face.
Literally.
Of course, I'll let her introduce herself and then you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm also sending a big birthday shout out to Olamide.
Yes, today is Olamide's birthday. Today is
yeah.
also Yemi Alade's birthday. But
Oh, wow.
she had a Wakanda-themed birthday party last weekend. There were so many celebrities there. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
all
I saw
Wakanda
photographs
forever.
of that. I saw photographs of that on
Yeah,
social
but
media.
today is actual birthdays. And something very interesting, Yemi Alade and Olamide were born on the same day, same year.
Wow.
I'm trying to figure out who came first.
No, but same day, same year. Well, hey, when it comes to talent, you know, there's a lot of talent out there, and they've actually taken Nigerian music to the rest of the world, and we're really proud of them. Really, we are.
Indeed.
And well, hey, when it comes to birthdays, goodness me, I wish mine was like next week or something, because I feel like a whole year has passed since my birthday.
your
I feel like
birthday. I know that
I feel like
feeling,
I'm a
right?
year older or something. But
When you
does that
get-
always come with wisdom,
The older
though?
you get, the faster it comes.
Really?
You wake up when you find you're 50.
Well, hey, So
You just wake up
deep.
on Monday. That's why you just find out, man, I don't reach 50.
So speaking about 50, guess who turned 50 yesterday? Celebrity cake maker Tosin Jemide, and he doesn't look 50 at all.
wow.
Yeah, I met up with him. I caught up with him somewhere in Ikeja. Looking cool. Looks like he's had a lot of cake in his time. Very fresh.
I love his social
Birthdays.
media pictures. His
Actually,
pictures are always so nice, and his
nice.
cakes are so beautiful. Amazing.
The thing about birthdays just reminded me of something that was trending last weekend. I wonder how many of you caught up with it. The guy who bought a plate of noodles at a restaurant in Abuja for 6,000 naira. You don't understand. Okay, so he
6K.
went to a restaurant
Yeah.
and ordered noodles, believing that all this rice, all these normal meals, very expensive.
Like Chinese noodles or something.
No.
If you see the noodles, it's noodles that even your little girl can make at home. Anyway, he ordered the noodles. He was given the plate of noodles, and then he got the bill, and he was told it's 6,000 naira.
6,000.
Now,
So this was like a fancy restaurant.
as far as I am concerned, the reason the guy didn't check that bill was because he wasn't the one paying. Because if you're the one paying money for your food,
You
the
check.
first thing you will do is,
Look at the
let me
menu.
look for the cheapest one. Okay, I can afford this one. Let me make the order.
No, but Mike, would you go ahead and pay for that noodles at 6K?
Who send you go that kind of thing? You don't know where your level reach.
All right, we're heading on over to the news with the birthday girl, Busolami, who's on standby. Happy birthday.
Thank you, everyone. I'm the birthday girl. I'm a year older, and I can tell you I'm wiser. But I'm here to give you all the news for today. So President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to leaders of various groups in Benue State to convince their constituents that the federal government is doing its best to end the recurring attacks by armed herdsmen in various parts of the country. Responding to remarks by various stakeholders during a town hall meeting in Government House in Makurdi on Monday, the president also urged them to show restraint and allow the security agencies to handle the situation. President Buhari said he was not in the habit of publicly rebuking the appointees, as many would desire, but that he preferred to, quote, read the riot act to them quietly, as a date to the IG of police when the Benue attacks began. On other issues, the president said his administration will continue to empower farmers with loans by the central banks of Nigeria. He also expressed delight that the agricultural policy of his administration has led to 90% reduction in rice importation. President Muhammadu Buhari was told in Benue State on Monday that, contrary to his instruction, the IG of police, Ibrahim Idris, to relocate to Benue in the aftermath of the killing of 73 people in the state. The police boss did not heed to his instructions. The president expressed surprise at the revelation that Idris did not spend up to 24 hours in the state, but said the meeting was not the best place to expose the inefficiency of his appointees. He appealed to the Benue people to exercise restraint and live in peace with their neighbors. 73 persons, you will recall, were killed in January following clashes between farmers and herdsmen. The Dapchi girls' abduction is another setback to education in the Northeast, where school enrollment is at an all-time low due to the insurgency. That's according to a campaigner for improved education in Nigeria, Chioma Osuji. She observed that most schools in the region have been shut down and most students are out of schools. She explained this will affect the girls adversely, and of course, as fewer women will be active in politics. Some major stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Imo chapter, have vowed to stop Governor Rochas Okorocha's endorsement of his son-in-law, which was to contest the 2019 gubernatorial election on the platform of the party. The spokesman of the group, APC Restoration Coalition, Theodore Ikeji, alongside other leaders of the party, say that the endorsement was achieved by coercion, intimidation, and blackmail. He insisted that a free and fair primary must be conducted for all the aspirants in the party wishing to vie for any of the positions in the state. The executives of the students' government in tertiary institutions in Ekiti State rallied in Ado-Ekiti in support of the continuity agenda of Governor Ayodele Fayose. They assembled at the Fajui Square and marched to the governor's office, from where the deputy governor received them. Spokesman of the students dissociated themselves from a recent statement by a splinter student groups which criticized government handling of the current strike, which has crippled Ekiti State University in the last 3 months. They also declared their support for the continuity of Governor Fayose to be succeeded by his deputy. All right, that's the news for now. And I'll be back later on with more update before. Let's find out what the weather has to say for you today. Bye for now.
All right, it's time now for the sports update, and Mike Mexicano is here.
Yeah, quite some bizarre stories this morning.
Yeah.
bizarre Tuesday. Yeah, maybe sometime we'll do all of that. But then, good morning. I'm Mike Mexicano, and this is Sports on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, the Greek Super League has been indefinitely suspended after PAOK Salonika's president invaded the pitch with a gun during a match on Sunday. Ivan Savidis tried to confront the referee with a gun in a hip holster after his side had a late goal ruled out for offside against AEK Athens. AEK's players left the pitch concerned for their safety and did not return. The match was officially abandoned 2 hours later. Now, Yomi, you have to say, I mean, this is a Super League. I mean, these are guys that come up for the Champions League, and then the owner comes onto pitch with a gun. That's a serious.
That's crazy. Like,
it's crazy. Very serious. I think for me, the team should be demoted. That's very serious. He could do.
I mean,
wow.
everybody on that hierarchy should get a sanction.
Something that. All right. Moving on from that, we're moving to golf as the governing bodies have confirmed a radical overhaul of the game's rules to be implemented in 2019. The R&A and United States Golf Association have made alterations to proposals released for public consultation last year, but the majority of the suggested changes aimed at making golf easier to understand and faster to play remain. Proposals such as allowing the flag to remain in the hole unattended while putting come into force on the 1st of January. There will also be no penalty for removing loose impediments from bunkers, and the time allowed for searching for lost balls will be reduced from 5 minutes to 3. World Taekwondo says it's looking to get the sport included at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Taekwondo will not feature in April's games, but the sport's governing body has created a working group to liaise with the event's officials. World Taekwondo says the sport is played in 88% of Commonwealth nations. The organization believes it will prove a popular addition to the Birmingham program, with England's Bianca Walkden and Lutalo Mohammed, as well as Wales' Jade Jones, all winning medals at the 2016 Rio Olympics. And then from back to football, as Manchester United midfielder Michael Carrick has confirmed that he will retire at the end of the season. The 36-year-old has been restricted to 4 appearances this campaign due to an irregular heart rhythm, which forced him to have surgery last November. Manager Jose Mourinho said that the former England international will take up a coaching role with the first team at the end of the current campaign. Carrick has played 463 times for United and won 34 England caps. That's it on sports. It's the headlines in the papers. Yomi and Titi have you on that one.
Thank you so much, Mike. We're starting with the Daily Sun and the headline this morning. Relocation order over Benue killings. IGP disobeyed me, says Buhari. Silent on punishment. Explains why government is negotiating Dapchi girls' release. Support anti-open grazing law. Tortive urges president. Nigerians react. EFCC grills ex-PDP chair Modu Sheriff over 2015 election funds. Fulani herdsmen kill 3, injure 2 in Ebonyi. African Human Rights Commission writes president on IPOB, Kanu. Restructuring plot against North, says Ganduje. World Cup, Nigerians won't accept failure, Wike tells NFF. All on the cover of the Daily Sun.
On the cover of The Nation, it says, empty streets, protests as Buhari visits Benue. Buhari may return to campaign where we are doing our best to end attacks. Autumn hails peace moves by Tinubu. Government alleges Genco's plan to disrupt power. 5 for Lagos West APC Senate ticket. Banks not impacting Nigerians, says Osinbajo. EFCC freezes ex-NSITF boss, 30 accounts, assets seized. Army probes Ibadan man's killing, and U.S. to back it 110 Dapchi girls rescue. We'll negotiate to bring them back, it says. And it sounds a bit like deja vu, you know. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
The Punch leads with the headline, Buhari, I'm surprised IG didn't stay in Benue, as I ordered. 2 cops killed in Guma on Sunday, Autumn tells Buhari. A presidency bars Punch others from covering Buhari's Benue visit. Poll timetable, don't be misguided, Senate warns INEC. We are negotiating Dapchi Chibok girls rescue, says the president. U.S. Secretary of State says Boko Haram remains a regional threat. EFCC freezes 30 accounts of Jonathan's campaign director. Viral video shows SARS men torture, strip artisan naked. Federal government asks Lagos Ibadan railway contractor to work day and night. Finally, other firms can now provide meters to power consumers. Good news. That's from the NERC there. All on the cover of The Punch.
Apologies there.
Sorry about that.
Vanguard says, Benue, I'm surprised IGP Idris disobeyed my directive, says Buhari, as herdsmen slaughtered 2 police sergeants ahead of president's visit. Knox kudos as stakeholders react to Buhari's condolence visit to Benue. Zenith Bank's operating results beat forecasts. It also says here, federal government replies Genco's, accuses them of blackmailing and politicking. Dapchi schoolgirls will negotiate, but will negotiate, not use force, says Buhari. On 2019 polls, unclaimed PVCs to be burnt, says INEC. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
All right. The Nigerian Tribune leads with the headline, Killings. Benue leaders confront Buhari as he expresses surprise IGP didn't stay in Benue. 91 more persons killed after mass burial of 73 victims, says Autumn. Response of key government agencies not comforting, says the TOR-TIV. TIV voted for you. They're not happy, says Akume and a couple of other writers there. Why would negotiate release of Dapchi Chibok girls, says Buhari. US OK's move, says Boko Haram still a threat to West Africa. Zenith Bank declares 2.5 naira, 2 naira 45 kobo dividend per share. And mentally sick man hacks 2 pupils to death in Ogun. And finally, federal government to source 8 billion naira to pay striking varsity workers. All on the cover of the Tribune.
And that's what we have for the newspaper headlines for today.
Of course, the newspaper headlines are proudly supported by Dettol. Be 100% sure.
Mike is on standby with Ben Fit for fitness this morning.
All right, thank you very much, TT. Of course, I'm here with the one and only Ben Fit. Ben Fit, how you doing?
I'm very
well. And I've also got Shane on my side here. How you guys doing? All right, so what do you have for us this morning?
Okay, today we want to do upper body, just to tone up those muscles.
I need to listen today.
Triceps, anything attached to your upper body workout, we're doing it today.
Okay, now. All right, so Shane, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys should take it away.
Oh, thank you.
Audio.
I'm here tonight, it's a crazy, crazy night. Let me hold your body tight. Let's do it right. I live my life. It's a crazy, crazy night. Let me hold your body tight. Let's do it right. I live my life. It's a crazy, crazy night. Let me hold your body tight. Let's do it right. I live my life. It's a crazy, crazy night. Let me hold your body tight. Let's do it right. 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 I'm yours tonight, yours tonight. Let's do it right. From Santo to Manila, I feel so crazy. I'm yours tonight, yours tonight. Just call me just for tequila. From Santo to Manila, I'm yours tonight, yours tonight. I live my life. It's a crazy, crazy night. Let me hold your body tight. Let's do it right. I live my life. It's a crazy, crazy night. Let me hold your body tight. Let's do it right.
Down. Good job, good job, good job.
I
And
like
let's
this.
cool down.
I like this.
Stretch your hands. Up.
You know what happens?
And out.
I've always mentioned this before, but then I remember working out at some point and my wrist, I had an issue, so it's hard to do push-ups.
Yes.
Of course, I can bench, but then push-ups is a problem because of
That's
you know
why
that
you need
wrist.
to condition those muscles very well while pushing up. You understand? You don't just push up.
Okay.
Your body condition actually matters a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, Benfit. That was upper body workout,
Upper
right?
body, yeah.
Okay, of course. So let's head up to the kitchen, of course. And we have Mary there. What's up? What do you guys have for us this morning?
Thank you very much, Mike. You're welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. And I have got Chef Winifred right here with me. I guess we should start with the heating of the oil now.
We have to
Okay,
heat the
so
oil.
this is Chef Winnie's first time. She's making the debut. How are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you.
So what are you making?
So today I'm going to be making egg and plantain frittata.
Egg and plantain frittata.
Yeah, it's a breakfast recipe.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So let's go over the ingredients.
Okay, before we go over the ingredients, let me just grab the oil
Okay,
because I need to get it heated and going.
okay.
It's just a little bit of oil in the pan
All right.
and just take it back.
So egg and plantain
Plantain
frittata.
frittata.
Okay, so the ingredients.
The ingredients I'm going to be using are eggs. Obviously, a basic frittata recipe uses eggs. And I have some chopped up tomatoes here, some chopped up peppers. These are Scotch bonnet peppers. Then I have some strips of red bell pepper and green bell pepper. And I have some onion strips as well. I have some sausages that I've diced pretty, and these are chicken sausages, but you can use any kind of sausages you like. Then I have some spices here. I have curry powder. I have thyme. I have some ground pepper. I have some seasoning cubes, and of course some salt. And over here, I have some fried plantains. Now, this
Okay.
dish is not complete without fried plantains.
All right, so eggs and plantains basically. Any other thing is an addition. Okay, so while we wait for the oil to
get
heat
heated
up
up.
nicely, take us through the process.
Okay, I'm going to begin by sauteing the onions in the oil. for about 30 to 45 seconds until it's a little bit translucent. Okay. I think the oil is hot enough now, so I'll just better start, right? Okay, go ahead. Sure. So I'm just going to throw in all that sizzle. That's how you know your oil is hot. So I'm just going to saute that for a bit.
Just a few seconds.
Just a few seconds.
All right. Then afterwards?
So afterwards, I'm going to throw in the diced tomatoes. Okay. No, the tomatoes first. Yes.
Ah, I love the sound of seasoning. Yeah. You just love food is cooking.
Me too. Okay, so I'm just going to get this going for about a minute or two. Okay. And afterwards, I'm going to throw in the Scotch bonnet peppers that I've also chopped up. And then I'll throw in the chicken sausage. Then all of the spices will go in, the peppers, the curry powder, the thyme, the seasoning cubes, and the salt. Now, this is just the filling for the frittata. A basic frittata calls for eggs, like I said, but this is just the filling I'm going to use. Okay. You can use whatever filling you decide you want to use, but this is what I always like to use for the filling.
Now, I'm actually very curious about something.
Okay.
I know not many people like pepper.
Okay.
So the usual thing we hear of is this coming in before the tomatoes, just so as to take it down a bit.
Oh.
Is there a reason you're putting in tomatoes before the Scotch bonnet pepper?
Because I like my food really hot and spicy, so
okay.
I always like to have that fresh taste of the pepper. Okay. Yeah, that's why I'm putting mine after the tomatoes.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. So 1 minute or thereabouts?
1 minute.
2 minutes?
Just give it a little time. You want the juices from the tomatoes to dry out, not dry out completely, just a little bit. You don't want to have a lot of liquid in the filling when you're done making it, so you have to give it some time to dry out.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So when the pepper goes in, the sausages...
The sausage go in, then the spices, the curry powder, the thyme, the chili pepper, that's the ground chili pepper.
Despite the Scotch bonnet pepper?
Yeah.
I can see you really like chili food.
I love.
And then what time does the bell pepper?
The bell pepper and the green bell pepper and red bell pepper go in last so that they retain their crunchiness and then their vibrant color. Okay. So I'm just going to put it last and then take the pan off the heat immediately.
All right.
Yes.
So we'll keep cooking this wherever we stop at this point. Okay. When we get back, of course, you'll be seeing us load everything in, like literally. Yeah. All right. So let's keep on with this. It seems the tomatoes are already
almost
bringing out their juices.
Yeah.
On average, how much will this cost and how many people can this feed?
Okay, this recipe, I'm using 6 eggs for this recipe, and this can feed at most 6 adults.
Oh, so it's an egg per adult?
Well, it will come out looking...
Have you met Mike?
No, I haven't.
I'm going to introduce you guys. This is definitely...
his face.
This is definitely not enough for 3 of Mike's. No, you shouldn't do that to him. He's a full-grown man. He eats well.
Okay, maybe when next I come, I'll make a bigger batch.
No, yes, you make a pan for Mike alone. Hashtag Mike for the kitchen.
Okay, and so you can use an average of 1,800 or less to make the dish, assuming you have all the spices available at home, because a lot of people like to buy their spices in bulk and they just keep it. So if you have the spices, all you need to buy is just egg and plantain and maybe your fresh tomatoes, and you can have the dish made. Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the chicken sausage now. Oh, the pepper goes in first. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, that goes in.
Yeah.
And
that one won't take time.
No.
I can see, Madam Spice. Well done.
Thank you. And then all the sausage go in just so that they cook a little bit.
All right.
There. Then I'll add the curry powder, the thyme, and the ground pepper. Everything goes. And then 1 seasoning cube. Just to add, just 1.
Okay.
Just to add added flavor to this dish.
And then you're pouring in all of this salt?
No, just a sprinkle.
I saw the way you poured in the spices, so I was just
maybe it's
wondering.
Sprinkles of salt.
Okay.
I really don't like a lot of salt in my food, though.
Neither do I. Okay. I'm not a salt person, so I guess that's fine.
Okay. So I'm just going to stir this around and allow it to cook for another minute or 2. Then I'll go ahead and throw in the bell peppers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to just allow Chef Winifred keep up with the cooking while we go for a short break right now. See, when we return, we have entertainment gists. I need you to stay with us. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. So parents who have more than one child can relate to the conversation we're about to have with Izefua. Siblings are constantly in competition with one another, and parents are left with the responsibility of stepping in and acting sometimes like a referee. Now, Izefua is here with us to tell us how best parents can deal with sibling rivalry. She's a parenting coach, and it's always a pleasure having her in the studio.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Okay, so this issue of sibling rivalry, can we say exactly what that is so that people understand exactly what it is?
So when two of your kids either fight or argue or struggle over something, when you just have that constant bickering between children, that's sibling rivalry. And when sometimes it gets really intense. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess from the way it's, in a sense, defined, it does have a negative connotation sometimes.
I think the connotation it has depends on the interpretation we give to it.
Okay. So is it a good thing to have rivalry between siblings?
So it's interesting. I don't want to say it's a good or a bad thing, but I would say it is an opportunity.
Okay.
And as a parent, when you look at sibling rivalry, especially at the initial stage when your children are still young, as an opportunity and ask yourself, what can I do with this situation presenting itself? Okay. Then you don't see it as a problem. But when your interpretation is, oh my God, my children are always fighting. What will they become? And you project into the future and all the fears come in, how they're going to be fighting with each other, struggling with each other, having animosity, then it becomes a problem.
Okay, so it's our interpretation that is making it seem negative.
Our interpretation makes it seem negative, one, and our interpretation fills how we respond to it.
Okay, so now what is the proper response? You have two children, maybe between the ages of 5 and 10. You know, one is older than the other.
Always the case.
And there's some kind of squabble. Now you approach and you don't even know what's going on. You just see them bickering or probably pulling at each other's clothes at this point.
So Titi, I love that you say you don't even know what's going on. Remember I said it's the interpretation we give and how we respond to it.
Okay.
A lot of times when, first of all, let's agree that whether you have same sex or they're two different sexes, they're individuals with individual preferences, differences. And another thing that is so important is the idea that one person, the firstborn, suddenly feels displaced. So when you begin to see the dynamics, I remember when I had my third daughter, and I had my third daughter very close to my second daughter. One day I was nursing, and my second daughter was running towards me. So, mommy, mommy, mommy. And she gets close to me, and she sees I was and she screams, like, oh my God, and she runs back. That scenario is powerful. So as the child is walking away, imagine what's going on in her mind.
Okay.
This child has come to take my place. She actually said one day to me, mommy, take this baby out of this house.
Wow.
So that is actually the beginning point where they begin to realize someone is taking my place.
Okay.
And then the bickering starts to happen.
So how do we, in a sense, is it possible to prevent these kind of emotions from being fueled, you know, by us? For instance, now you have one older sibling feeling a bit intimidated by the younger one who has come to take their place as such, or is getting more attention at that point.
Yes. So
how do we respond?
So while we may look at it right now, while we're having this conversation, when the bickering is going on, a lot of times we do not connect it to an attention issue.
Okay.
Which is important. It's important you brought that up. We don't connect it to the fact that this child is actually fighting with the other child because they need daddy's attention or they need mommy's attention, which is such an important part of why siblings fight. And then how we intervene is we foil that attention. For example, you intervene and you keep saying, I hear that so much. You say to the older one, don't you know you are older? You're older, behave like the older brother, treat your younger sister or younger brother right. What you're actually doing is you're setting the stage for creating a bully and a victim.
Okay.
The older one begins to feel, mommy doesn't like me, you bully me because I'm older. The younger one begins to feel, I'm small, so because of that, I'm the victim, I'm the one being punished. And then you have no idea what happened. So it's important when we're stepping. I like to say that as a parent, you're not the judge and the jury over your children's fights.
So
you're not the judge and the jury.
Do we let them settle it themselves?
Yes, of course. The fundamental thing is step into the fight, trusting that they can handle their fight. And let your communication suggest that.
Okay.
Do not take sides with any child, none.
Wow.
I like to say put both of them in the same boat. So practically, how does that happen? I walk in and I see the children fighting. Maybe I catch one even hitting the other. The likelihood for me to say, why would you be beating your sister or brother? A lot of times, the other one actually started the fight. You have no idea.
Yeah.
So I step in. My role is to ensure that there is peace and they resolve conflict. And I step in and what do I say? Would you both settle this and stop fighting?
Okay.
Your language of both, your language of not
makes both of them at fault instead of one.
It's not even necessarily at fault, responsible.
Okay, both of them responsible.
So if it's at fault, it's still blame, responsible to resolve the issue.
Therefore, it's always a pleasure, but there's never enough time. Please send us an email. That's wakeupnigeria@TV Communications. Oh, goodness me. tvcontinental.tv. I'm always getting that email wrong. wakeupnigeria@tvcontinental.tv. And of course, please send them in and let's see if we can help sort out some of your parenting challenges.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
All right, so Mike is ready to bring us all the gist from our celebrity community. He's right there.
I think it's a bit of an aberration when you say entertainment news is just about celebrities' lives, right? That's me personally, but today we're talking about celebrities' lives.
Okay.
Okay.
I've
got the unhealthy pot in the house and we're talking entertainment news today. Great to have you as always.
It's always good to be here.
All right, so we're starting off with Kiss Daniel.
All right.
It's in the news for many reasons, man. This is here. You think this is when...
Well, Kiss Daniel has been doing fantastically well, beyond what people even thought of him when he started. And it's a beautiful one.
It's a beautiful... Okay, now, so, Kiss Daniel and Chidinma Ikile. Now, when I think of both of them, I'm thinking about a collaboration, right? But I wouldn't guess of this particular kind of collaboration.
No, because you'd see so many times there is a publicity stunt around something. At the end of the day, we'll just see that maybe they're just making a song together and people are already... Yes.
This is the other room collaboration. That first picture, the one we just saw now.
See, you could
have... That was posted from Kiss Daniel's story on Instagram, right? Was that Instagram or Snapchat?
See.
Instagram. And he put Chidinma on the bed and then there was love emoji.
He posted it for this reason, because he knew that people were going to talk, and they are talking. Okay, so that is it.
But the point is that both of them were in the room, in a hotel, in the other room together at one point in time, even if...
Okay, so I've been trying to feel people's pulse. Like, how would it feel if, you know, Chidinma decides to date Kiss Daniel? Kiss Daniel is 23, Chidinma is 26.
Is that his football age or musical age?
Okay, I'm just saying, like, oh, really?
Because, you know, that's one person that there's so much disparity when it comes to his ages, talk back and forth, but then age is just a number, isn't it?
Yes, people say so all the time. Age is just...
Don't you think so?
Well, I do not even have any problems personally like dating a younger guy, but if that person is going to be matured, like the mindset is just fantastic. That is, when you have problems, you know that a lady would always be a lady, a woman will always be, so you're naughty and the person will not bring it up. Or it is because, okay, so if you're going to leave that out of it and then...
So AKA Honeypot is saying she doesn't want to be a spouse and a mother at the same time.
Oh,
just a spouse.
Wow.
But then we're still talking Kiss Daniel. We're still talking Kiss Daniel, and this time it seems it's reported that he might just have had a breakthrough in his case with G Worldwide.
Yeah, so it was reported that he actually won that case. Okay. And you know how he started, because they said that there was a breach in contract because he got his own manager and then he started, you know, having events, negotiating, you know, at events and all that, or for events and all of those. But now they said that he won. But we have not heard anything from Kiss Daniel's, management.
Okay. And the new one that is expected. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So moving on from that, it's Obama. This is quite cool. Obama is about putting down, you know, details for a deal with Netflix to produce something.
So we heard, and it is not cast in stone yet, but we heard that they're going to be providing content for Netflix, and they're going to be paid. That is, Obama and the wife would be paid.
Sure, no.
But it was actually, yes, underlined that it is not going, this particular content would not be around the present, president of the United States. So that people don't start thinking that maybe it's going to be, you know, he's going to be chipping in some things about this president.
Something quite noble about Obama is that he has not made so much, has not spoken so much about the president. As much as there's been so much criticism against Donald Trump, he has kept his cool.
But you have to do that. I think he's just matured about it, and we've always loved him for that.
If you know what I mean, that's it. All right, finally.
Wonderful. Forever.
She might not want to talk about this, but then we'll just brush on this, of course. It's Big Brother season.
So it is one thing I don't actually enjoy watching. I don't know why, especially this season.
You don't say that to the open. You don't say that.
No, but then that is how I feel. This is not, you know, I am not the host of the show. So I'm being invited. Am I allowed to say what I think?
Okay, yes, you can.
Okay.
You can. So it's Big Brother, Sisi and Toby.
Wow.
Once again in the news, as they've always been. Very toxic relationship.
Okay, so I don't ever get to understand all of this because I see it and I hear that, you know, somebody touched somebody's, and then somebody was saying, can I say that thing?
No, it's okay. Do you understand?
I'm just wondering, you know, because I have asked you before I came on this show today, why you put this story there, and I'm saying that somebody...
No, we all talking about it. It's there in the news. It's there in the social space. So, but the point is that it's quite a toxic relationship, and he claimed, or she claimed, that he was touching her inappropriately. And then he came up and said, no, you touch my genitals, first of all. Or why we're all fondling and all that.
Saying that
why are you...
She was a virgin and then she had sex 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was the last time she had sex and all. Oh, wow.
You see me, I'm confused. I'm not understanding.
Like, okay, so that is what the show is all about.
But you know, there's something, as much as people criticize it, it's making money, it's making away. So at the end, people just come out in the open, talk about it, but that's what they want to see. That's just the truth. Yes. A lot of people have subscription on. But then, hey, anyways.
Countless congratulations to Dija.
Okay, yes, finally. Okay. Let's just say congrats to her for a second baby.
For second baby.
She don't born musical, not to be born now.
No.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Honeypot. It's always a pleasure having you.
And it's always good to be here.
All right, that's all we can take on entertainment news. We'll take a break now, but don't go anywhere. When we get back, we're talking tech and women. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back, and I have another powerful woman here. Today's just Women's Month. Very cool one. But then we're talking tech today, and I've got the one and only Bella Rose.
Hi, good to see you. I'm fabulous. It's been a while. Okay, the chairs.
Okay, yeah, been a while.
Yes,
I'm sure you get that chair, right?
I'm sure.
I'll just assume I'm the one talking now.
Awesome.
Okay, it's on me now. No one talking now, so that you can adjust the chair. But hey, come on. We're talking women in technology today.
Definitely.
Nigerian women or African women or women
Nigerian women.
Nigerian women. So specified it. Nigerian women in technology advancements and what they've done. Okay, so
and that's because this year's IWD, the International Women's Day, was themed Press for Progress. Not many people know the kind of progress that is being made in the tech ecosystem. It might not be, the numbers might not be as much as we want it to be, but there is actual progress going on. More women are doing really amazing stuff and want to celebrate them.
Or just
groundbreaking stuff, and younger people too, you know. Initially I had thought, okay, how about we focus on the older generation, but it's important that we talk about what younger women are doing. You know, the previous Minister of ICT, Mobola Johnson, did amazing with the ecosystem when she was there.
So we'll start with her. Mobola,
what's her name? No, we're talking about the younger generation. Okay, so she's a part of the older generation. Yeah.
You've come again. It was old Nollywood before. Okay, now, so let's go straight into it. So
at number 5, it is Mohini Ufeli. Okay. Mohini Ufeli is the communications lead at Andela, Nigeria. Okay. She's in charge of their communications. She takes lots of beautiful pictures at tech events. Andela is a software development company. Okay. It's owned by young Nigerians as well, and they're men. I don't want to talk about them.
I know Zuckerberg came around there when he was around
at some point. In fact, his project and fund that he and his wife put together, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. Funded Andela. Funded Andela. The CZI funded Andela about 2 years ago or so. So, I mean, they are making a lot of impact, and Mohini is one of such people. They might not be involved with like actual tech stuff, but it's using perhaps your talent in the ecosystem, and that's what she is doing as well, putting out all the work that they're doing at Andela for the world to see. So she's at number 5.
All right. Okay.
At number 4, it's Afua Osei.
All right.
Afua is
she's Ghanaian.
She's Ghanaian actually, but you know she co-founds She Leads Africa with a Nigerian, Yasmin Bello Osage.
So both of them. Yes. is also in the count now,
absolutely.
Right? Okay, so both of them.
But they're sharing the same sports.
The same sports.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
They are the founders of She Leads Africa. She Leads Africa may not be completely tech, but they are helping women who are in technology advance. Okay. They are talking about their stories. They are featuring them at many beautiful events that they put together. Okay. And it's worthy of note to talk about what these women are doing to advance the tech ecosystem in Nigeria.
All right.
At number 3, it is Miss Techie. Miss Techie is a YouTuber just like myself. She reviews gadgets. She's a sweet person. She's my friend as well. And you find that not many women are interested in the details of smartphones. You know, it's like, just buy me the phone. If you don't take picture and make call, I'm okay.
And I'm to call and text.
Exactly, you know, but just like I do, you know, she also reviews gadgets and lets people know, you know, more information, what your phone can do, the potential that your smartphone has. And if we can see a lot of people doing these things outside Nigeria, it's awesome that even in Nigeria, women are also paying attention to these things.
Number 2, number 1, very fast.
At number 2, it is Dami Tadi. Dami Tadi used to actually own Go My Way. It was a ride-sharing platform that would have competed with the Ubers and Taxifys of today. But, you know, somehow things didn't go well and she had to close shop. But she's now actually back at CC Hub as their incubation lead. So she's involved with helping startups that are involved in many different, you know, areas, you know, incubate, get funding to survive and provide solutions. And it's amazing, you know, specifically to see Dami Tadi still do this because she has been there and she's done that. She could have just decided to throw in the towel, but she's now back into the ecosystem and is trying to help other startups survive. So she's at number 2.
10 seconds, number 1.
Number 1, it is Ire Aderinoko. She is a self-taught front-end developer. She's really into like
That's
the
real... Mouthful.
I know, right? She's into the tech stuff, you know, and she taught herself this, sitting down and writing codes, developing programs, etc. She's at number 1. She has used her influence, in fact, to help some girls in Nigeria get scholarship outside the country, you know, on online platforms, that is. And this is especially to progress the tech ecosystem for women who are interested in software development, programming, etc., coding and whatnot. These people are using their influence, just like I am, to progress the tech ecosystem in Nigeria.
So some other time we'll get a countdown and probably it'll be number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1, all the arrows. All right. But that's okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, so let's head over to the kitchen and let's see how far you guys have gone there.
We have gone really far, but not as far as Worry. So you're welcome back to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. I've got Chef Winifred Emmanuel here, and she's making egg and plantain frittata. All right, so far so good.
Okay.
We have our plantain.
So we're done with our filling now. We're about to assemble it all together. Okay. In here, I already have my eggs cracked open. I'm just going to season this with just a little bit of salt, just to awaken the flavor of the eggs.
So the flavors have been asleep.
Yes. And of course, I'm going to give it a very good whisk to combine the yolk and the whites together.
You're not putting any seasoning in that?
You can put seasonings if you want to, but I always like to keep it plain because I already have all of the seasonings in the filling.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm just whisking together. Okay.
That's ready.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
Then afterwards, I'm just going to grab the filling we made earlier and just transfer everything right into the mixing bowl. Yes. Okay. Yum, yum, right. I think the filling is a lot for the egg, so this is just fine. And then I'm just going to mix to combine gently.
Okay. You're going to put the plantain inside this?
No, just watch.
I was about to say something.
Okay, so it's time to bring in the baking dish. Okay. So I'm just going to coat this gently with a little bit of vegetable oil. I'm using the power oil. So just a little goes in.
A little?
Just a little.
Okay. That's so it doesn't stick?
Yeah, so the egg doesn't stick to the pan.
Okay.
I'm just going to brush it around with this brush. Yeah. Okay, afterwards,
what goes in?
I'll just grab in the egg mixture and transfer everything right into the pan. Looks beautiful, but it's going to look a whole lot better when we're done. I promise.
Can't wait to see it, because the egg is going to give the white background, which is very nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So afterwards, what I'm going to do next is just top it up with some fried plantain. I already fried my plantains earlier, but you can cut yours in whatever shape you prefer. This is the shape I like. And I'm just going to place it
You
gently.
even arrange the plantain?
Yes.
I haven't said anything. I'm just
Remember, you eat with your eyes first.
Yes,
so your meals have to be really pretty.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take my time. Okay, maybe not take my time.
So you're going to continue with this like a spiral?
Yes, until it goes round.
Okay.
And covers the entire surface.
This is great stuff to do with your children.
Yes.
And we might be thinking, oh, the school term started when? Well, Easter is around the corner. So this is something you can use to engage them in the morning.
In the kitchen, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just tell them, arrange it. The only thing is, you might end up with plenty of sand in your food, but it's all right. You eat it with love.
And this is a really kid-friendly meal, though. Kids love it. Adults love it. Adults love it more, though.
Than kids?
Yes.
This looks like something I'm telling Lubu to just get ready to make on my birthday as breakfast in bed, you know, just saying.
Okay.
It's always good to say these things early.
So that they know, right?
Yeah, so they know. You get the idea.
Okay, so this is fully topped now. I'm just going to garnish with some bell pepper strips. So it's just the red and the green one.
I was about to say that no plantain in there.
No, I want to garnish so that it pops out the whole dish. The color of the bell peppers just pop out the whole dish.
I really can't wait to see the end result of this.
I promise it's going to be nice.
I believe so.
So this is ready to go into the oven, and I've set the oven to 250 degrees centigrade, and I'm just going to pop this in there and allow it to bake for 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Yes, 20 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Let me come help you.
Thank you. Oops. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
So let's go over the process again. Today we're making egg and plantain frittata. So I'll let Chef Winifred Emmanuel of Zelicious
Foods take us through.
I'm not there. Well, that sounds very interesting.
Okay, I started by frying up some plantains, some ripe plantains, and I set that aside. Then I went ahead to saute some onions, tomatoes, and scotch bonnet peppers as the fresh peppers. Added some spices and some sausage, salted it up, and then allowed it to cool.
Just so you know, the ingredients are currently on your screen: plantain and egg frittata. Okay, so if you want to quickly scribble down the ingredients, you can quickly do that on your screen right now. Please go on.
Okay, so I mixed that up together and cooked it for about 2 to 3 minutes on medium heat, and then I took it off the heat. Before that, I added some bell pepper strips, and then I took it off the heat immediately and allowed it to cool off completely. And in a mixing bowl, I mixed up some eggs, I whisked together, and then I added the fillings right into the egg, and I've transferred it back into the baking dish, and I topped it off with some fried plantains and garnished with some bell pepper strips.
Now, there's a great reward for any child that helps you in the kitchen, the leftovers.
Oh,
so you can always give it to the child to, you know, okay, good boy, good girl, have this. I think kids are likely to be more interested in that one.
And the plantain as well.
I
will be interested in this one.
All right, I need you to stay with us. Wake Up Nigeria continues shortly. Can't wait to see the results.
Hello and top of the morning to you. Once again, it's time to wake up. We're here to get you up, get you going today.
It's a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Nigeria. We're about to bring you some serious entertainment. That's already been happening. So just in case, because you've missed a lot already. Now we're going to bring you a package that put together by Olaronke Alo on the celebration of International Women's Day.
It was celebrated just recently, and well, I have a feeling you're going to like that. And afterwards, we will be meeting Nollywood's Ayolola. And well, he's one of those
I can explain.
Yoruba demons that we're always talking about.
I can't believe it. He's calling me for Candace drinks. Can you imagine? Fabrice must have offered them something that they're actually thinking of sponsoring. And I know these people, they will never do 2 radio stations. They're thrifty. What does this guy want now? What does he want?
I wonder.
Why is he coming after me so hard? Why? First he poached my OAPs and now my sponsors. Why?
Was it that time I made you laugh like that?
Something just happened right now.
What we're saying, which one? Was it what you saw or what we're saying?
Say what I was going to say about
Don't say, Mary, please. Don't say.
I was looking at you on screen,
you have said
and
it.
I was saying to myself that, gosh, Titi looks very, very sexy.
Oh.
Like, especially the way you stood, like, it was, if you missed it, just, go back on Facebook and catch up on it.
Mary, stop
No,
this
but
now.
seriously, and then I like the way the arm of your top aligns perfectly like this. It's really
Next.
Why you envious? I'm going to praise
doing.
you.
What the guys are supposed to be doing
Don't
is
mind
supposed to be
these
saying,
guys.
nice,
They don't
but
praise anything.
as in, we've tried.
International
We'll
Women's
send it
Month.
to you as a text message.
We've tried.
Next. Okay, so basically, this is March, all right? And we're getting ready to a number of things. World Cup, I know we have some plans. That Russia plan, Sha.
I've been talking about it. It looked like I was more serious about going to Russia than you were.
Did any one of you snap with a trophy or something?
Snap with trophy on Friday.
Yeah?
Well,
no, okay.
Something crazy, Where the trophy was being displayed wasn't very far from where I was.
Okay.
But the thought of removing myself from where I was,
it's actually the crowds that usually intimidate me. Going to places
there was
like
so
that.
much of a crowd, though.
There was a private, I think there was a private viewing.
There was a private viewing.
There was a VIP
viewing,
and then there was the regular one.
I noticed something. It's only those who have won the World Cup that can touch it, apart from head of states.
Oh, wow.
So head of states and FIFA officials. Some particular designated FIFA officials. And then most of the time, the FIFA officials are people who have actually won the World Cup. So the person who came with it was Christian Karembeu, who is a French player who also definitely won the World Cup.
Won the World,
So it's only head of state, FIFA president, few officials and winners of the World Cup that can touch it.
Was that the real World Cup?
Yes, it was.
It
is.
The way it's being guarded, I think it is.
No, it is the real World Cup. It is
the way it's being guarded.
The concept is, it's just started 4 cups ago. That's what, like 2008.
Right.
So they started touring with the way. But okay, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, like somebody could be like, what if something happens and some people do this? So let's take a very nice replica.
My guess was the real World Cup definitely arrived in Nigeria.
Okay.
But for the displays, it could have been a replica.
It could have been a replica. It's possible.
It's possible.
But the World Cup came.
I doubt it.
But
then
they want us to believe that the World Cup is going on. But then this FIFA, don't mind them. One day, we talk about salaries and football players, what they earn. People earn in a week what all of us here earn in a year. And nobody want the FIFA.
Mike.
Somebody's earning. I mean, in China, players have earned
how can you say a year?
600,000
well, I'm talking
pounds a week.
20 years. Calculate it properly.
Okay,
You're
20
years. What are you saying?
I didn't know you were going there.
I'm going to remove myself out of this question.
Don't lie.
Do you remember when your mother used to tell you, please stop going to play football on the road?
Now, the parents have changed.
Oh, no, parents.
Go and play. Take him his night. Go and play football.
You know what you said? No, don't remind me of something. This guy, Peter, his son qualified for Barcelona Football Academy. Okay. And the way he screamed about it on social media, you would think he just got a deal.
Yes, so now all the doctor engineering that your children went to read, all of us are going to read it. So how much are we earning now?
The football academies aren't cheap.
They aren't.
No, they aren't.
Especially the really prestigious ones.
The prestigious ones, they aren't. So the point is that you have a kid that has a proclivity for sports or anything. Look, sports is now about the biggest earner in, when you look at it cumulatively, it's about the biggest earner of any profession. Look at basketball, look at golf, look how much these guys earn. You're talking about a player who has earned over $1 billion in prize money.
It's very important to have your child attend academies. It helps them prepare.
All right.
On that note, we're heading on over to the birthday girl, who's been receiving a lot of birthday messages for the news update.
Thank you, Yomi. President Muhammadu Buhari has also appealed to leaders of various groups in Benue State to convince their constituents that the federal government is doing its best to end the recurring attacks by armed herdsmen in various parts of the country. Responding to remarks by various stakeholders during a town hall meeting in Government House, Makurdi on Monday, the president urged them to show restraint and allow the security agencies to handle the situation. President Buhari said he was not in the habit of publicly rebuking his appointees, as many would desire, but that he preferred to quietly, quote, read the riot act to them, as he did to the IG of police when the Benue attacks began. On the other issues, President Buhari said his administration will continue to empower farmers with loans by the Central Bank of Nigeria. He also expressed delight that the agricultural policy of his administration has led to a 90% reduction in rice importation. President Buhari was told in Benue State on Monday that contrary to his instructions that the IGP of police Ibrahim Idris to relocate to Benue in the aftermath of the killing of 73 people in the state, the police boss did not heed to his instruction. The president expressed surprise at the revelation that Idris did not spend up to 24 hours in the state, but said the meeting was not the best place to expose the inefficiency of his appointees. He appealed to the Benue people to exercise restraint and live in peace with their neighbors. 73 persons were killed in January following clashes between farmers and herdsmen. So the Dapchi girls' abduction is another setback to education in the Northeast, where school enrollment is at an all-time low due to the insurgency. That's according to a campaigner for improved education in Nigeria, Chioma Osuji. She observed that more schools in the region have been shut and more students are out of schools. She explained this will adversely impact the girls as fewer women will be active in politics. And it's a wrap on the news at this hour. But don't forget, you can get details of all these art stories on our website. But I'll leave you right now with weather update. I'm Busola Mituashin. Bye for now.
Well, it's time again for the sports update and Super Mike. It's been a while that we called you that. So.
I think we changed it to Bra Mike.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot.
All right, and we're starting with bizarre news as Greek Super League has been indefinitely suspended after PAOK Salonika's president invaded the pitch with a gun during a match on Sunday. Ivan Savidis tried to confront the referee with a gun. I don't know what he'd have been doing with that in a hip holster after his side had a late goal ruled out for offside against AEK Athens. AEK's players left the pitch concerned for their safety and did not return. The match was officially abandoned 2 hours later. And then on to golf, as governing bodies have confirmed a radical overhaul of the game's rules to be implemented in 2019. The R&A and United States Golf Association, USGA, have made alterations to proposals released for public consultation last year. But the majority of the suggested changes aimed at making golf easier to understand and faster to play remain. Proposals such as allowing the flag to remain in the hole unattended while putting come into force on the 1st of January. There will also be no penalty for removing loose impediments from bunkers, and the time allowed for searching for lost balls will be reduced from 5 to 3 minutes. World Taekwondo says it's looking to get the sport included at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Taekwondo will not feature in April's games, but the sports governing body has created a working group to liaise with the event's officials. World Taekwondo says the sport is played in about 88% of Commonwealth nations. The organization believes it will prove a popular addition to the Birmingham program, with England's Bianca Walkden and Lutalo Mohammed, as well as Wales's Jade Jones, all winning medals at the 2016 Rio Olympics. That's all sports for this time. Once again, headlines in the papers.
All right, we'll start with the cover of this day newspaper. Buhari in Benue asks Nigerians to stop escalating herdsmen-farmers clashes. Again, hints at presidential run, says he may return to campaign in state. Expresses ignorance over IG's disobedience of his relocation directive. 2 policemen killed ahead of president's visit. On the land use charge, Lagos to address concerns of residents this week. Tillerson pledges U.S. support for quick release of Dapchi Chibok girls. Clarifies comment on Chinese loans. And the president says federal government negotiating release of students. Borno closes boarding schools in 25 local government areas. And finally, Senate cautions INEC on misguided pronouncements on Electoral Act amendments. That's what we have on the cover of this day.
All right, the Vanguard leads with the headline, Benue, I am surprised IGP Idris disobeyed my directive, says Buhari. As herdsmen slaughter 2 police sergeants ahead of president's visit. Federal government replies GenCos, accuses them of blackmail politicking. Dapchi schoolgirls will negotiate, not use force, says Buhari. 2019 polls on claimed PVCs to be burnt, says INEC. That's a word. That's enough for the wise. Zenith Bank's operating results beat forecasts. You'll find that story on page 19. And like we did yesterday, we just want to have a look at the cartoon, the Mr. and Mrs. cartoon that usually we read every morning on the cover of the Vanguard. And Mr. says, why is a cup of tea taking this long to prepare? And then Mrs. says, you're confusing the maid with your British accent. One of these days, you'll get your cup of tea served in a cap instead of a cup. All right, that's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard this morning.
It's amazing these comics have lasted so long. The newspaper headlines are proudly supported by Dettol. Be 100% sure.
We're going to go on a quick break now, and there's more on Wake Up Nigeria. We're going to have Ayola join us on the couch, and also we'll find out what's going on in the kitchen.
As we all know, March is a month set aside to celebrate women and address gender-related issues around the world. In honor of International Women's Day that was recently celebrated, Olarunke Alo has a report for us. Watch this.
And every one of us has a role that we need to play in terms of helping, for example, we all have daughters, sisters, younger ones around us, not to limit them and not to say, oh, because you're a woman, you need to first of all think about marriage and not about your contribution to the society. So we want to challenge a lot of those stereotypes about African women and Nigerian women in particular.
Over the years, attention has been shifted towards the problem of gender equality in Nigeria, a country largely steeped on patriarchal history.
What came upon us after colonialism? Where are we going now? When Nigeria was divided into 3 regions, Western region, Eastern region, and Northern region, the House of Assembly in each state had no woman. It was only in the West that there was a woman. The West said, the East said they have no woman. The North said that there was no woman. It took them some years before they could look for women. We are not like that today. We are improving.
We need to realize that a lot of the things that we call tradition and culture in Africa are actually not our tradition and culture. They are things that, as Professor Oluwole said, are inherited from a time in our history when we were being colonized.
This consistent and sometimes retrogressive in gender advancement is one of the reasons women rights groups, organizations, and activists take seriously the month of March to address issues relating to gender equality in the country.
We still don't have laws in place regarding gender equality and things like that. So, but I'm happy that we're talking about it. You know, you have to start from somewhere. You have to start speaking about it. You have to start educating people on the importance of gender parity.
Addressing these issues amongst other women at the International Women's Day event organized by the French Embassy in collaboration with the University of Lagos. Reflecting this shift in womanhood, Nigerian men surely have a role to play.
There are several roles for the man. Number one, he provides leadership, that this house, this family, we must practice gender equality. He also, as a man, must create the necessary support structures that will ensure that women maximize their potentials.
The more we begin to realize that this is what we have to do, the more we begin to tell the men and educate the men on the importance of treating women, or rather on the importance of portraying women a certain way in films. I think we have a key role to play in doing that.
It starts in the family. I mean, if a young father just looks after the baby and changes the nappies and gives the bottle to the baby, it starts there. If you bring your partner to change the nappies of the baby, it's a good step, a big step.
A bigger step would be for voices not to stop clamoring for gender equality and women empowerment until it is achieved.
We have evolved, but it seems to me that our ideas of gender have not evolved.
All right, welcome back. That was a great report talking about the International Women's Day. And of course, there's quite a lot that we still have for you on the show. Now, joining us this morning is Ayola Ayolola, who's a Nigerian entertainer. He's best known for winning the 5th edition of Project Fame. However, these days, he's more of an actor than a singer, but we'll find out more while that's going on. Now, what many don't know about him is that he has been acting even before the musical competition that brought him to the limelight. And these days, he's one of Nollywood's poster boys for the perfect lover, you know, the people that we call Yoruba demons. And his role in the Skinny Girl web series, Skinny Girl in Transit, is really popular. I mean, that's been one of the things that, you know, shot you to the limelight as well in that area of acting. Yeah. Good to have you join us this morning.
Likewise, good to be here, sir.
So, what's going on?
I'm really happy to be here. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I actually have never been on the Wake Up Nigeria show.
Yeah.
I've been on another entertainment show on this channel.
Yeah.
So this is exciting for me.
Really, really great. I mean, it's you know, you're coming into Project Fame, people getting in touch with you as someone who's talented in music, and you know that's what people started following you for. Yeah. Your EP came out in 2014. So tell us about that and how you then decided, you know what, let me focus on acting for a while.
Music has always been my life, still is my life. I started music a long time ago, and I would 2008 would be the beginning of my sojourn into the music competition race, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So I would try and be evicted and be disallowed, and eventually would get in 2012. And, you know, as grace and God will have
it's very strange that, I mean, you would go into a musical competition. Like, that's always everybody's fear, that how far can I get? But you went all the way.
I went all the way because, I mean, it wasn't like I really felt like I could do everything. At first I would feel like, yeah, I could do it. And I'll get on the show and I'll be evicted. Or I won't even be allowed past the first stage. And I'll be so mad. Why? Are they blind? Can't they? I'm talking about several competitions, not just Project Fame now. Winning Project Fame would be my 11th time from 2008 to 2012.
Wow, are you kidding?
You know, so after every eviction or disallowment, allow me, I would tell myself, I'm never putting myself through this. I mean, these guys don't know what they're doing. Can't they see? Can't they hear?
Can they see Fine Boy?
No, it's not fine. Nobody is selling Fine Boy there. You have to be able to sing. So I tried, and then I would get mad at the organizers. I would get mad at the judges. I would get mad at the contestants for wasting. I don't know. I was just so mad. But then the next one would come, let me try. And I'll go
you know, it's strange. I mean, it's nice that you would talk about this now, because one of the things we talked about on the show yesterday with a coach is how to deal with rejection, especially in the professional sector. And, you know, you had all the setbacks over the years, and you kept coming back. What made you come back?
Now, I was able to, because of the kind of family I grew up from a very positive family. My dad and my mom would tell you, you can do it. Keep trying, don't stop. And my father would say, don't hurry. If you hurry and you take over, I mean, you miss some steps, you'll get stuck. You'd have to come back and take those steps again. That's my father's principle. Has he helped me? Yes, because I had that, he built the mindset of when it's the right time, nothing can stop it. But when that time comes, you have to be found doing that thing. If not, it will skip you and go to the next person. So every time I got rejected, I always felt, it's not time yet, it's not time. It was painful every time. But I just felt, not yet, but don't stop. Wow. So that kept me going. I kept looking at the bigger picture. I think that's what helped. All
right, now we still have Ayola with us on the show. We're going to come back after this break for more. All right, welcome back. We still have Ayolola here joining us. He's a singer, he's a speaker, you said, and he's also an actor. Now, we're going to be taking a look at one of your clips from The Skinny Girl in Transit, and we'll come back and talk about your acting career.
Okay, sir. What was the point?
To make the dress fit better.
To make the dress fit. If the dress didn't fit without it, then why did you wait in the first place? Why didn't you wear something else? You want to snuff the life out of you because the dress didn't fit? You're smarter than this now, Tiwa.
Your sister doesn't like me because she thinks I'm fat. Don't yell at me. She's trying to impress your mom.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic first impression, fainting because of flat stomach. Tiwa, I love you just the way you are. You don't need all this. Where is it? You don't need it. Where is it? You don't need it. You don't need it. I don't need it. If I wanted someone else, I would have dated someone with a flat stomach now. Now tell me, if something had gone, if it was worse than what happened, you would have been in the hospital. Then I'll be worried about you. I'll be worried about work. And I'll be worried about Fabrice. Why? No.
I cheated on you.
You're like a terrible boyfriend in that place.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. All right. So, speaking of acting, I mean, the kind of roles that you seem to have, because one of the things that I found out about you was keep your girlfriends away from Ayola, because he's like it's not that bad. Raging lion.
Oh no.
But you know, the Skinny Girl in Transit role. Tell us about that.
It was. I was just blessed to have the role. That would be the second time I would work with Bimbo. Bimbo also happens to produce the show, Skinny Girl in Transit, for Ndani TV. So I had the first time I would meet Bimbo was about a year before then, where I did a talk show with her that she also produced for the web channel. It was called Ndani Real Talk. That was the first time, and she just reached out to me on social media. I went for that, and we didn't talk for so long until she just hit me up, called me, asked for my number, called me, and asked if I was available at a particular time. And that was a very, very serious time in my life, very down time. My mom was really ill. I was actually right beside her on her, beside her sick bed. Wow. Got the call, and I mean, the rest is history. So I was just blessed to have it. And I didn't even think it would turn out to be this way. Yeah. At the time, when everybody was struggling to buy data.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand? Everybody was struggling.
And people were following. And
yeah. I'm like, who's going to watch this, really? Who's going to use their data to watch this thing? And then I started seeing 100,000 views. I'm like,
amazing, amazing. And actually that show has spurned a number of other, shows, and a lot of people are now inspired to start their own shows as well, based on the success of your show.
Exactly.
Amazing.
So, and it's just and that also has affected me positively because I'm also working on my show soon.
Right, right. Oh yeah, so you've got a
series coming out soon, So we're working, and I'm not going to give out so many details yet, but it's about the life of someone I'm playing.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about money that actors earn, because sometimes, you know, you see all the actors on the big screen and you're thinking, oh, this guy would have made so much money from this. But a lot of times I hear that actors have to do several films to be able to ensure that they're paying their bills consistently. Is that the same case with you, or does it, when you move up in the industry, you earn more money? How does it work?
Like every other industry, when you move up, you earn more money. So that's a constant. I'm not going to talk about that. But it is just common sense for anyone using their gifts. Anybody in the creative industry, be you an actor, even a footballer, you have to play so many games to be able to, do you understand? Because you get paid, even if you get paid per week, you have to play so many games so that you can negotiate for a higher pay when the opportunity comes. So it's just smart for an actor to, not because of the money now, the money is also a very good motivation, but just because you practice makes perfect. Consistency is key.
So that's one of the things that...
That's one of the things that pushes me to do
that consistency.
As many quality projects as possible. I mean, as an actor, you also need to learn to say no. If money is the reason why you're doing so many, no would be far from you. But if you're doing it because you want to be on great projects, you also want to improve your craft, when you see something you're not comfortable with, it'll be easier for you to say no, respectfully, without knocking someone else's hustle. Because your motivation is not money. You see the bigger picture, which is, as a brand, where will I be? By the time they begin to mention the kind of projects I've been doing or I've been part of, would it affect me positively or negatively? So your motivation for doing the number of projects should also be the quality, not just, and your brand, not just the money.
All right, so let's talk about, I mean, you had your EP back in 2014, and now you're doing a lot of jam sessions, I hear, and stuff. So plans for music, 2018?
Absolutely, absolutely. So in 2015, early 2015 was the hardest time of my life as far as entertainment is concerned, because I was doing music from 2012 for 3 years, you know, after the competition. And it was picking up, but by my own calculations, it wasn't picking up as much as, do you understand? I didn't want it to just overnight become a success. No, I don't want that kind of success. I want to be able to gradually build and build a followership that will stick with me for a long time. So I wasn't getting that. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to put music on hold and focus on acting. That was the hardest decision ever.
Because that's one of the things I also wanted to ask, because I always wonder about that. People who have two talents like that and they're really good in both areas, how do you, number one, strike a balance? Number two, do you eventually have to shelve one for another? Look at people like Will Smith, Jamie Foxx. They all had great voices, but they just, you know, decided that, you know what, let me do this, focus on acting. So is that the case with you as well?
I mean, in most cases, it's very true that one has to suffer for the other. I mean, you can't be a master of both and pay the same attention to both. I mean, it's not possible. Talking from experience, if other people have done it, it's fine. I don't know how they do it. I'm very happy for them. It was very difficult for me, you know, and also because at the time, no one knew me as an actor. So I had to sort of prove a point.
You know,
pay my dues and all that. And I wouldn't do that on the backs of being a singer, because the music industry is as jealous as it needs your 100% attention.
Yeah, it does.
Do you understand? So I had to, it was difficult to put that on hold and focus on acting. My plan was to focus on acting for a year.
And then
look at it, 3 years now, I'm going. And then it just made it easier for me, because if I stop singing temporarily and I'm acting, people still get to see what I'm up to. And I can still, I was just lucky that both were still in the entertainment industry. It would have been more difficult if I was dropping acting to do a day job. It would have been more, it's not
like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to go and work in the bank.
It would be very difficult to merge both at the end of the day. You still have to give up one for the other. But for these two I'm juggling, I can juggle. Like I said, juggling.
All right, so we're heading to the kitchen. I must warn you, there are 3 ladies there who are just waiting to touch your arms.
Oh my Lord.
So I'm
waiting to touch the food.
I'll try to protect you, but I can't make any promises.
That's fine, that's fine.
It's not just the arms.
Oh my God.
Can you hear that?
Maybe the beard. Alpha,
all right, so that's
that's
Mary.
Oh, I sit?
That's Chef Winnie, and that's Mike.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing? Hey, people.
All right, so you're welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you, ma'am.
Today we made.
Why is Mary changing accents now?
Today we made eggs and plantain frittata.
All right, say that again. Eggs and plantain.
Yeah, frittata. So she's cutting it up.
All right.
And you'll be getting a slice
in a
few seconds.
Yeah.
Where's that spatula? Okay, tell us
So
how
he
you
said he
made
hasn't
this.
had breakfast, so yeah.
Okay, so I started by frying the plantains and then, oops,
That's the spatula right there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I sauteed the onions and tomatoes and peppers.
We need to serve this, so
Okay.
you can serve it as quickly as possible. But go ahead with the description.
Sauteed some tomatoes, peppers, onions in a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
I think I'd better use the knife to get this out.
A little bit of olive oil.
Then afterwards, I added the sausage and some spices and seasoned with some seasoning cubes and salt.
Okay.
And I finished it off with some bell pepper strips.
Eventually, this thing will come out. We need some help. We can help you out.
Mike doesn't need help
We're
with this
supposed
kind
to
of
let it
thing.
rest for about 5
Just
minutes.
dig-
Like
dig it.
being in the kitchen for so long has made me like
success.
I can't do anything.
All right, there you go.
This guy must taste this food.
Thank you very much.
We're supposed to let it sit for 5 minutes though, or
Right.
10 or
So
so.
I love the way
So
the
let it cool a
plantain
bit.
is just sitting on top of it like that. It's like everybody will taste the plantain, no matter how far you go
Yes.
in the dish. Go ahead,
Oh,
take it.
okay.
Go ahead.
Who said we didn't have pizza in Nigeria?
You're serving me, Mary? Really? Oh, thank you.
We are feeling generous today.
Thank you so much. I
That's
really
just a lot.
appreciate
There you go.
Do I? Oh, I get a plate?
Yes.
Oh,
Mike
wow.
already
Because
said
like we're in shock.
For the guests.
This doesn't happen all the time. In-house joke. But really,
Okay, so I can hear Ayala. Your
how is it?
That's his response.
What do you think?
Okay, so we have to say goodbye.
Thank you.
All right.
Why don't we start with this?
Oh, good question.
Can you imagine
A big shout out to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories, and of course, Fola's Place for styling our hair.
Yes.
Yeah, and a big thank you to all our guests for joining us this morning, especially the one and only Ayola.
And a big shout out to Zefua for coming earlier on.
And Chef Winnie.
Yes,
Thank you.
Check her out on
We
at
love you.
Zilicious on
No, it's not
Delicious foods.
Zilicious
Delicious
Foods
food.
on social media, Instagram especially.
Yes, indeed.
And we'll see you again tomorrow for the Wednesday edition of Wake Up
Have a
Nigeria.
lovely
Say bye-bye.
7 a.m. Catch us right